Monday, Monday. Friday night and I ain't got nobody. Where's my notes? Uh-oh. Crap. Rescued by Mary, how are you? FR Gamer. What up, gamer? Howdy, Texas. John Gray. Texas. Yippee-ki-yay. Trying to find my notes. I'm not prepared. Uh-oh. What the heck? Oh, there we are. All right. Wait for some more people to get on. We got about 20 people jumped on already. Wow. Jason, how are you? Broadbeck, excuse me. Yeah, well, better than two. I need as much as I can get. Malone. Blackball. I've been blackballed recently. Rhode Island. I'm going to talk about that today. Brian King, yo! What up, brother? Thank you for that message on the chat today, Brian King. I appreciate that. Can everybody hear me okay? I didn't check the sound. Is the sound okay? Ciao. Where are you from? Dare is this Lucas? I can't even pronounce it. Darlus Lucas. Wow. Gotta write that phonetically. That's a tough one. Did you hear Eric got arrested? Eric, which Eric? Which Eric? There's so many people. That's one of the things we're talking about today. That's one of the things we're going to talk about today. Eric who? Darren, how are you? Just a little jaded. Just a little? Severely jaded. Hey, at New England Truth. Hope all is well. Thank you. Sound and picture great. Okay, good. Thank you. UK in the house. Jay, 67. Thank you, Jay. Thanks for checking in. You guys got it tougher over there. Eric Brandt, yes. I'm not trying to be rude, but he gets arrested a lot. I mean, he's in and out of court more than I am, and I got 2 cases pending. He's a tough cookie, man. If you're a police officer going up against him, Joe Schmo, if you go up against him, he's willing to get arrested every single time. That guy's dedicated. That's a dedicated guy right there. My hats go off to Eric. But one of the things we're going to talk about is that there's a lot of people getting arrested with a Y in them. That's cute. Roscoe the First. Yeah. He wins most of those cases. He doesn't win them all, but he wins most of them. FOIA requests are going to go back. Thank you. That's one of the things we're going to talk about today. Actually, we'll talk about that. We'll start off with that. The FOIA request, the meeting I had with the sheriff yesterday. I had a meeting with the sheriff, and the sheriff, not the sheriff, I'm sorry, the major of the New York State Troopers Barracks in Albany, New York. News Now, Clayton was attacked, Nomad, Granite State, Hate the State. I've gotten arrested twice in the last 2 weeks. I can go on and on and on. Ron E., how are you? Yeah, Hate the State got jacked up at 2 o'clock in the morning last night. FBI came in and just ransacked him. Thanks, Brian. Okay, JPK. Winnipeg, Canada. Hey, what up, Canuck? Thank you, Jay. So, a lot of people getting arrested. We're going to talk about that. Can we do a countrywide march? Each state has a march against tyrants. Black Hester, how are you? Abe Padilla. Abe from Richmond, California. How are you? Ann Gallant. Jeff is here. Hey, guys, Jeff is here. Roscoe again. All right. Yeah, that's a great idea. Kathy Miller, how are you? The problem with that, unfortunately, is that who's going to coordinate it, and then you become a leader of something, and I don't. Whenever you organize like that, it's hard. I'm not sure. I'd have to be careful. James Mack, how are you? Thanks for checking in. Roscoe the First, Jason McCormick. Organizing and the RICO laws issues, that could be a concern. But just to gather, sure, that's completely, there's nothing wrong with that. If we want to get together and do a march and do like a, but look what happened to people in Leon Valley when they got them all together. Good hope all say, yeah. And I'm not saying people aren't dedicated, because I'd be willing to do that anyways. You know what I mean? But there's some people who might not be willing to get arrested. Lightning Dave, Pinella County Cop Wash. Lightning Dave, I haven't sworn in like a week. None of my videos. I've been, I did interviews with people. Ben, how are you? Passion, baby, passion. Yeah, I haven't sworn. I haven't done, There you go, Brian. I like the way he worded it. That's well worded. A countrywide organized event is not a good idea. Let's have a barbecue and see what happens. Val Montoya, Utah. We're going to talk about some things today. We're talking about the current arrests is one of the topics I was going to talk about, Brandon. And we're going to talk about current arrests. We're going to talk about like the pushback from the state. I wanted to talk about answering for ourselves as individuals in this movement. And then I want to talk about, is it working? Those kind of things. But I also wanted to talk to you guys about the meeting yesterday. If one of the people can post the PayPal account on there, I want to start doing that on my live chats also. Margaret, how are you? It is humid as hell and hot as hell. It is 92 degrees right now. It was 93 yesterday. So, Alabama. You had something down there happen too. Somebody got arrested in Alabama. Was it PNP? It was the friend of PNP. I can't remember her name. I just subbed her today because I didn't know she had her own channel. So there's a lot of pushback from the state right now. I think there's kind of a movement within the state police itself. Police state. So yesterday I had a meeting with the New York State Troopers, with the major. I did actually go to school with this guy again. Lamont, how are you? I went to school with this guy. I can't believe it. Yeah, it seems like I went to a school with a lot of these people around here. The sheriff, Craig Apple, and this guy. It's amazing. And he's the top dog at that troop. I just can't believe it. And I just want to see if you guys can see this. Can you guys see that? Major Douglas Kyer Jr. Okay? So that's who I met with yesterday. I met for about an hour. We talked in detail, a lot of things. And I'll be honest with you. This guy told me how he felt. And it was the most comprehensive conversation I've had with a police officer probably in my life. I didn't do all the talking like I did with Craig Apple. I let him talk. I wasn't able to record it, which kind of upset me. I wanted to, and I actually mentioned that to him. And he may do another one where I can record it. He made that very clear because I said to him, look, the conversation that we're having right now, the things that you're saying are so on point with what we're trying to convey, and you're so understanding to it. Why can't I film this? He only had 2 requests for me. 2 requests. That if in certain circumstances, like in one of my last couple of audits, I actually walked between the vehicles. Don't get so close, and I can respect that. When you got people that you're pulled over, I did not even recognize that. Yeah, what are you doing? In hindsight, I saw it. And also, try not to be so derogatory. I made a commitment on one of them, and I'd say do my best on the other. I think you know which ones were what. So the conversation went pretty good, and he was fully aware of who I was and what was going on, and he wants us to come together. He seemed like a really pragmatic guy. So I didn't get arrested. I didn't get beat up. I made it out. And I even posted a video last night of my interview with Hector Montalvo's show, on Hector Montalvo's show. And I think that was a good verbal exemplification of how I feel, how I answer those questions. I would encourage people to check out that and also sub his channel. Hector Montalvo, okay? Got a nice setup. Interviewed the governor, has interviewed state police chiefs or state police captains and chiefs of the town. He's done a lot of good interviews. He won a national award for it. So check him out and check out that interview. Thank you, David. And I'm going to keep holding these people accountable, okay? The FOIA request was not done. In other words, there's nothing for them to give me. Jenna, how are you? Because they kicked me off the property that day and they didn't write a police report about it, even though I requested one like the following day. I called. Does that tell you something? Now, I can tell you that the New York State police officers in this area have taken a lot of crap from me. A lot of verbal crap, okay? And that's, I got to give them props to that. I'm still alive. But I know I'm right. I know I was right that day. And I kept saying that to him over and over again. I know I was right, and the police officers broke the law. You know, 90% of police officers, 90%, a study was done, do not get held accountable when they violate our civil rights. 90%. Part of that, I believe, is because it's entrenched and it's infused within their culture. It's a systemic thing. So, we got to keep fighting these people. We've got to keep standing up because, look around. If we don't stop it, where's it going to end? They're telling people what they can eat. In some cities like New York City. New York City's like a little communist city. It's New York communism. NYC, New York communism. That's what New York City is. And I don't know how they think they're a different state and they got their own laws, but somehow they're able to do that. If we as a people do not start to draw the line in the sand somewhere, where does it end? Are we going to have centuries in our houses? Remember that? We don't even think about that constitutional thing, right? I don't want centuries in my house. I want to be able to protect my home like the Constitution says I can. My personal effects, all that. So, don't go to New York City. You can't, what is that? You can't even drink a drink over 20 ounces? Is that serious? Are you serious? Did I just see that? Lightning Dave? Really? No drinks over 20. You know, it really makes me angry, man, when we are being told what we can do and we're supposed to be free. You're telling us basically everything we can do, and then you're going to sit there and wait for us to make a mistake and take our money to support more of the same crap. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy with a negative conclusion, and the negative conclusion is our freedom. Gone. Self-fulfilling prophecy with a negative conclusion. If we don't do something, and every time in history it comes out, we have to do something. We have to stand up. It's usually a small, and I always get a lot of crap about it. But I can't stop, man. I can't stop. And I hope you can't either. I'm going to be moving soon. Again. I found a place on Cape Cod, tentatively. A nice home on Cape Cod. Hopefully my next live video will be from Cape Cod. And everybody's going to call me a liar. You know, you're a liar. You lie about this. You lie about that. You know, the trolls are trolls. You know what I mean? They're going to always say, you can show them proof. Proof. Here's the proof. Oh, that's fake. You made it up. It's like, no matter what you do, the trolls are just, hey, PNP. PNP is, was the one that, if I'm correct, was arrested. She was arrested, right? Weren't you there, PNP? I might have the wrong, I think it was PNP. I'd like to know where she's at, how's that's going. But anyways, it's got to stop, folks. It's got to stop. It really does. I mean, from a basic level, it's just got to stop. It's going too far. People are just getting killed, and now the stuff's coming out, and we're seeing more and 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 more. And now, even in a Democratic national debate last night, they talked about it. They talked about it. They talked about the police state. Now, I don't want to get into politics. I don't want to get into, that's not my thing, okay? I'm an auditor for our Constitution. I'm a constitutionalist. That's what I feel. So, if they're even talking about it at that level, I think it's making attention. It's getting some attention, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. No. PNP was with somebody else, I thought, but apparently not, because he's a big ugly dude. I didn't say big ugly. That was Brian King. But it was with PNP. There was a female with PNP, his backup. But I could be wrong. So I'm going to show you guys the documents. Anything I see. Trust me when I tell you, I don't lie, okay? I don't lie. I'm going to show you everything. And they're true, they're real. Every time I talk about a case, it's true, it's real. And I get tired, hey baby. Hate the steak got busted, yeah, at 2 o'clock in the morning last night. I hate to be that kind of guy that, I'm not gonna mess with people, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? They're gonna say, okay, I've had people tell me I'm a meth head, I've been arrested for molesting a child. I've been arrested for selling drugs and trafficking. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. If anybody has proof, post it. Debunk me. Selena, thank you. Selena was just detained. That's right. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. That's what I was talking about. I saw that earlier today. 30. It was a 36 guns? I thought it was 30 guns. Well, I guess he was armed. So I'm going to show you guys everything, okay? And anybody who doesn't want to, Quincy Mass, okay. Anybody who doesn't want to believe me or support me, you might want to stop showing up on the live chats. You also might want to not watch the videos. The guys that go and comment on this video, and that video, and that video, and that video, and that video. Ah, you suck, I hate watching your videos. Oh, what the hell are you watching them for? Stupid! Eric Brand got arrested again, sure. I feel bad for the guy, man. And then taken away, then you're arrested. Yeah. So, you go and you look and you say to a police officer, which I have a video that I didn't post yet. Thank you, Dan. Is that, what do you guys do? He said to me, what do we do to violate you? Why are you so angry at us? Why are you doing this? Christopher, how are you? Because from the beginning, you guys violate our rights. Just like when you talked about Selena, Brian, I think it was Brian King said something about Selena. Just give me your ID. Give it to me. What? Nobody, that's what Eric got arrested for. We're assuming disorderly conduct or something like that, right, guys? I didn't see it. I just know he gets arrested a lot. He's fighting that fight all the time. News Now Cleveland. What happened to News Now Cleveland? See, I can't even keep up. There had to be 10 arrests in the last week. Selena had a lot more guts. She had a lot of guts because she stood her ground and she was willing to get arrested. He violated the area restriction and he didn't. I think it's an attack on auditors. I think there's a national movement from the police state to violate and to get rid of us. And I'm going to tell you something. Look at history. Decades and decades, you can just look at it. When one person that is in the right, morally based person is in the right, and they get violated, there's going to be 10 people that are going to see that and then become an activist. So, I'm going to tell you something, police state people. You're only creating more auditors. So go ahead, arrest, violate, continue your crap, because it's only going to create more awareness, more people that are going to get involved in this movement. I highly suggest police officers and police state people just figure it out and do, like, make that transition. Try to figure out what we're trying to say behind the anger. I know a lot of us are angry, but why? Why can't you just change? Do something right. Make that leap. And stop using fear as your excuse to kill, to arrest, to violate. You're not afraid. We know you're not afraid. We know you're really bravado. It's really like, so, just make the change. Change. It's inevitable and necessary. You can't stop it. You're not going to stop how old you get. You're not going to stop things, are you? Certain things you can't stop, man. This movement, you cannot stop. That I know. I'm just a piece of sand in this ocean. But I like to think I'm a shiny one. And I like to think that what I'm doing is right. That's why I'm going to continue. I got one of your trolls, Brian. Brian, I got enough of my own trolls, man. Keep them. I don't care. They don't bother me. I just laugh at them. Sometimes I'll entice them. I'll try to piss them off. I'll say something back just to make them angry. You mad, bro? You mad, bro? Scumbags. 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 So, we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep doing it, right? Kevin Bradley sucks. Kevin Bradley sucks? So Kevin sucks Bradley? Did he get that flipped? Should it be Kevin sucks Bradley? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So, actually, Trolls was on here too. That's part of the... Oh, Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, that's just... All right. I can't get into religion, but... Yes, hate the state. Got arrested 2 o'clock in the morning. We talked about that. Thank you, James Mac. James Mac. Mac and cheese. All right, so we talked about answering for yourself. That was one of the things about the trolls. Do you answer? Should you answer? Should you engage? To for you. What's the purpose? That's a stupid question. I'm not even gonna answer that. It's stupid. What's the purpose? Sometimes when the trolls do say things, I just think, oh, dude, it's so stupid. Why would I even engage you unless I'm just wanting to screw back with you? Just so you know, 100 times trolls, I'm so far above you mentally, spiritually, that I'm just screwing with you. Because you don't bother me. So you're going to answer for yourself. And then one of the things I want to talk about was I'm going to start to, as much as I can, I'm going to start to show all the forms, all the things. Pornhub. All the forms, all the stuff that I do when I go to court as an attorney, as a pro se litigant, excuse me. Now, what I wanted to say was, you can answer for yourself. You can go in that court and not let that prosecutor, that public defender, that attorney answer for you, okay? You don't have to. And I'm going to tell you something. It's not that difficult. It really isn't. As long as you don't go in there with, like you're doing an audit. You're not doing an audit at that point, right? If you were free, you would not be judged by any man other than yourself. To thine own self be true. However, that's not the world we live in. We have to kind of coincide with the world we live in and try to get it to where we want. And we can't be total against, because it just, we'll never get in court and win. That's what I've learned. You got to be reasonable in a court of law and try to work within that system. Even though a system's like, I've been in court cases, 2 court cases, all the way to trial, from the beginning to the end, with an adjudication. Never pleading guilty or not guilty. Never even being asked. And I said, no, Your Honor, I'd like to make a plea in my case. No, we don't do that here. What? Jeez. How do you know I'm guilty? How do you know I don't want to say I'm guilty? So you can stand up in front of a judge and have those kind of conversations and figure it out, and it's not that difficult. Trust me. You're going to be answering to the trolls if you want to. My suggestion is not to. Unless you're bored like I am sometimes. Screw them. They're only here for one purpose, that's to make you feel bad, and they're very good at it. Some of them will befriend you and you think you're your friend, and they are not, okay? Don't let them think that, all right? They're trying to screw with you. So one of the things I want to talk about also, somebody said it, kind of brought it up. Is it, or what's the purpose, they said, but is it working? Let me see some comments. Is it working, guys? Do you think there is successes? Now, you talked about hate the state. A lot of people talked about hate the state. Well, I think any auditor, just so you know, any auditor that does do time is going to make it inside. And here's why. When I was young, when I was a kid, I did time, and I'm sure it's changed. I've spoken to prisons a lot since then. But I can tell you, if you're fighting against the system, people are going to like you. They're going to like you. They're not going to hate you. Now, if you go in there and you're screwing around with children or you're doing something like that, you're a dead man. You're in big trouble. So I don't think that that's going to be the case. And I actually watched one of his videos today just to get caught up on what he does, what his style is like, I forgot what his style was. And, you know, this guy's hardcore. He does things I wouldn't do, but that's his choice. You know, he'll wear a sign that says the C word for the judge, and he's like right in their face, man. That's his thing, man. That's what he wants to do. And the retaliation, bleebits. Jesus is in the house. Cameras everywhere. So why are they retaliating? The pen and sword, how are you? Because they get pissed, they get butthurt, right? So I don't think that it's a problem. I think we're going to be okay. And I think if you I need expert testimony from a car crash collision expert. Can you recommend anyone? No, I do not know a car crash expert. I wish I did. I mean, I know some people that work on cars that you can go to them, have them, you know, give you a quote. But that I live in New York right now, and I'll be in Cape Cod soon. So, contempt of cop is a bad thing. Yes. Anybody who goes out and intentionally gets arrested, yeah, you're not doing the right thing. You're trying to navigate and get some resolution there instantly if you can. And if you do get arrested, I'm never trying to get arrested, but if you do, I think you should fight. Just check some of these. I want to see if anybody put any. Can you ask a question? Of course, Great Sky Troll. Great Sky Troll? Anti-drama? All right. Well, I don't know about that question then, but go ahead and try it. Brian King or somebody might take it out. Or James Mack. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about the guns. Again, if that's what they've got them on, if there's something illegal there, that's got nothing to do with auditing. That's the problem. That could be a big problem. Firearms like that, yeah. I don't know. And I don't like to talk about other auditors. So, God bless him, and I hope that it works out for him, okay? Or whoever, any auditor. I don't care who the auditor is. So, you guys want to do pro se? My suggestion is go ahead and do it. Yeah, we're talking about Ian. We were. Nomad, Granite State, Hate the State, Ian. Myself, a lot of other people arrested lately. The trend. 900 charges? Are you serious? James Barnes. Jana. Now you're quoting the Bible to me. He was too far aggressive in his passion. I personally think he overstepped into incitement. I don't know. I watched the video today. Poopy doopy. How are you? I watched the video today. He was actually very, and just stood there. And if anybody engaged him, he responded back. He did not go proactive. So to me, that was not an inciting video. Now, I haven't watched a lot of his videos, so I don't know why. I turned off my phone. I don't know why it's ringing. But I haven't watched a lot of his videos. But, you know, I'm considered an inciter also because I get so angry. Does that mean that if I'm 30 feet away, 20 feet away, that I should be arrested because I'm yelling? Or I'm not yelling because I'm swearing or because I'm doing something like that? I don't wear a sign. I don't want to offend the general public a lot of times. That's just me personally. They should be aware too because I deal with bootlickers a lot. But it is what it is. If they're retaliating against him for something else that he is guilty for, I can't answer to that. That's not auditing. I know in my personal life, I believe in civil disobedience. I believe it's our constitutional right. As long as we're not harming another person. If you're harming somebody, that's different. But if you're just being yourself and being to yourself, and you're not harming anybody, I don't know. That's tough for me. That's a tough one. Because civil disobedience to me says, like in Massachusetts, I haven't paid a speeding ticket. I think I got speeding tickets there a couple of years ago. I'm not paying them. I'm not paying them. And a police officer asked me about that once. And I said, have you ever heard of civil disobedience? It's a legal concept. Look it up. You know, the same barracks that wrote me the ticket, they closed the whole barracks down for fraudulent ghost ticket writing, fake overtime, extorting money from the public on the news. I put a video up about that a while ago. So I'm not paying a ticket. And if anybody pulls me over, if I stand in front of a judge, if I stand in front of a jury, I'm going to say the same thing. I am a man that's true to my word. This is who I am. And I can tell you something. This movement, what I've committed myself to, has caused me so many consequences. Family, friends, getting a job, you know, it's very difficult for me. I've had to change a lot of things, lower my, when you go from 6 figures, then you go, you got to drop it down. You got to accept less. You got to live less. People want to beat up on you, oh my God, look at you. Oh man, you're all screwed up. No, I was violated. My life was destroyed from one arrest. In a professional field, when they Google your name and they find that you've been arrested, they don't care that you won it in trial. They don't care. They're not going to give you that job. They're going to go to the next guy who's just as qualified, who doesn't have a criminal record of any kind. Right? Now, all my younger stuff, they're not going to find because it's YO or it's sealed or whatever. It is hard to appreciate sometimes, I know. There should be a big separation between police and courts. Thank you, Jason McCormick. Big separation, and there's not. And that includes the prosecution and the police departments. Because, I'm not gonna have a heart attack. Yeah, nice try. They're a dirt miner. They're too connected. It doesn't make any sense. You're not getting justice there. You're not going to get fair, impartial justice. You're going to get a skewed version of it. You're going to get an opinion. The last court that I went into, it's like a debtor's court. The last court that I went into, the prosecutor was late. Now, he came in. He didn't introduce him. He didn't say anything. I'm talking to the judge. I'm right in front of the judge. Right next to the judge, which I thought was weird. Face to face almost. And he bumped me. He didn't hit me. He bumped me. Grazed me is the word. As he approached the judge. Didn't introduce himself. That's emotional. That's not professional. You're a scumbag, prosecutor. You're a dirty, friggin' scumbag, and you stunk. You need to use some deodorant, dude. If I'm gonna be going to trial with you, put some deodorant on, please. I beg you. Please. So, I prefer silent philosophy. Well, unfortunately, that's a good point. DJ Abs, how are you? Let's see here. Yeah, so should we be silent? Should we be passive? Should we just walk, allow them to continue? Or are we going to be aggressive when they come? And here's what I think. I have found that when I am taking the higher aggressive role, supported by the Constitution and the laws, they back down. I don't get arrested as much. I've gotten a summons for something happened at a prison with a CO. Wasn't a cop. He called the cops, filed a complaint on me. Prosecution picked it up. So, why be passive? But I'm not telling people to do. Christopher, how are you? I'm not telling people to do it. Yes, it was return. How are you? Yes, house. Return. How are you? I believe you should fight everything. I don't believe we should let things just go and see how it works out. And how's that working so far? How's that working so far? And no, I don't do coke. I don't do, what was it, crystal meth. I don't do heroin. I don't do anything. Nice try. Nice try. And that's a troll. They're just going to throw things in there. I gained too much weight. I'm just gaining weight. So I think that it's apropos for us to fight fire with fire at this juncture. I don't think this is a Martin Luther King kind of movement. I'm sorry. It's my opinion. Now, it doesn't mean I'm right. That doesn't mean I'm right. I know the top sheriff in Albany County, Craig Apple. I went to school with him. Somebody asked a question. God, if you know the Bible, is this Jonah? Jonah, look, I know the Bible, okay? The last thing that I did as a volunteer, which I consider this kind of volunteer now, I don't get that much money, is I was volunteering in a church. And I'm going to tell you something. You can believe and take all the words. Either God is here and he's doing all this, or God is letting man have his own will. So it's not God's will unless we allow it. So we're in control. Us. It's our choice. God has nothing to do with this day-to-day stuff that goes on. And that doesn't negate my spirituality. No, it doesn't. Because I still believe in a higher power of my understanding, not yours. God isn't doing this, man. Are you kidding me? If he was, him and I would have we'd have a problem. If he was, we would have a problem. I think I'd be yelling at God, which is okay. Boom. A boom. A boom. New TV show out. Fluffy. So, is it working? Folks, I can tell you, this shit is working. There are police departments being closed down. We talked about Hate to State. I'm gonna tell you something. I watched that video of Hate to State, and almost every cop said, "Hey, how are you, Ian? Good to see you." With the sign on, walked past him. It's like he had him trained. John Felix mentioned it when he was doing his narrating. He's the best. I think he's one of the best narrators. He was talking about it. He said, "Hey, every cop seems to be trained well in that area. So is it making a difference? Sure." Turner v. Driver. Thank you, Jonah. I'll pray for you too. Turner v. Driver. That's an auditor. Appellate court decision. You can film the police. Glick v. Cuniff. Smith v. Cummings. On and on and on. Church should always be separate from state. Yes. And thank you, James, because, you know, every troll is going to try to say things to make me look bad, but at the end of the day, I am the real deal. And how you know that? It's because I haven't stopped. And you guys may or may not know this, but these guys aren't making money. Especially people under 1,000. They're not making money. Why are they doing it? And let me ask you another question. This is one of the questions that this trooper asked me. Why are we doing this, right? What's the end result? How can we do this? Well, let me tell you something. How is it possible that I can do this? Why is there such a platform? Why is there such an audience? How does it happen that I can have 500 subs and go to, well, now 15,000 in 6 months? How does that happen? It's not me. I know I'm not some, YouTube persona. I'm an idiot. I am doing this for the right reasons. The actual audience is there because it's real. It's true. Stop lying, police officers. Start paying attention. Look around because it's there. What did I blame you for, Brian? I blame Brian on everything. You guys make sure you support Brian King. He's going to be back out there in August. Make sure you support him. Did anybody put up their PayPals, anything? Anyways, trying to help out other auditors too. I try to help out other auditors as much as I can. And you know, I lost my career, so I'm struggling financially too. You know, I'm not an e-beggar. I've never done that. But I want to be supported by this community because this community believes in me, not because I'm trying to make money off of them. That's not what it's about. Thank you. Thank you, Jonah. Or Jana, or whoever. So, I think that it's a good point. I don't remember who it was, Lightning Dave or somebody said, you know, what's wrong with doing something that you love and being supported by the people that believe in you? What's wrong with that? Trolls are going to knock you down. Oh, e-beggar. What? Why do I have the opportunity? Because you guys are screwing up as police officers. You're taking your small wee-wees and you're bringing it to work. In Lowell, Mass, the police officer in my video that I met in Lowell, Mass, was just arrested yesterday for raping over and over again a 16-year-old homeless girl. Should I go on and talk about all the cops and things they've done? I can spend another hour about all the things that I post, like on Facebook or on this or that. You know, it's really frustrating to see these many violations. It's really frustrating to see this much going on, and the fact that people are just ignoring it. There's so much tunnel vision in our world, so much ignorance. Wake up, people, please, before it gets too far. Yeah, well said. Jesus. I'm going to call you Return because I can't pronounce that first name. You got to write it phonetically. The whole world is programmed, yes. I don't know. There are some cultures, I think, that are trying to maintain a spiritual sense, a moral sense. Yeah, we already know Black Blackball. We talked about hate stays in big trouble. Yeah, 60-something guns or something. Let me just see here. After they are fired, smaller department. That's the other problem too. So that national database that in the news agency that put it out, there's a national database for police officers that have violated or been arrested or something. They did something wrong. That needs to be really focused on. We really need to focus on that and have a huge national database for all police officers and their record. They need to be drug tested. They need to be on that site, and they need to be held accountable. That site, that 85,000, we need to learn, because we know it's more. We need to learn all about it. What is there, 20 million cops in the United States of America? You know, let's just say there's 20 million cops in the United States of America. Not 20 million, 28,000? 20. I got the number yesterday. But let's just say a percentage of those cops are inappropriate. What number do you think's cool, right? What number do you think's cool? There's no other genre in our society that is empowered the way the police officers are, and that includes FBI, all those guys. See, anybody, they are empowered. There's no other genre. If you're going to be a police officer, you need to have special training to treat people right. Stop going to the gun range and start going to the library and learn the law and learn how to treat people right. I've seen too many situations where people are just innocent and they don't want to give the copper's ID or something. They end up dead. Static Core, how are you? Mark Dade, the last king of Scotland. Scotland in the house. I mean, how much do we have to say? How much do we have to ignore? How ignorant can you be, people sheep? You know, come on. Wake up, Mark W. Once a cop is fired, that is the one genre they should never be hired again. Yes. Why don't they go to other towns? Why is it allowed? Why? Because they have that wall, that blue line, which is a wall to protect them against us. It's us and them, and it shouldn't be. But that's the way it is. By protocol, bunker, and by the fact that, no offense, but in one county, they finally raised the IQ. One county? Not even a state, one county. They raised you can have a higher IQ now in one county. You can't have a high IQ and be a police officer. Oh my God. Please help me. It's noon. All right, folks. It's been an hour. I don't usually go past an hour. Anybody wants anything to talk about before I get off, go ahead and throw it in now. I'll try to catch it. Yes, they do quit. Very good point. They quit first. They're smart. Or their boss tells them to quit, and But even if they're suspended or fired, they're still able to transfer. IQ test. What is your IQ, Brian, by the way? I know you told me once before. I can't remember. Thank you for lurking, Bama. Good to see you, Bama. Peace. You guys have a great weekend. As always, I tell you, please be safe and take care of each other. And most importantly, take care of yourself. Be good to yourself. All right? This weekend, do that for me. Do something for yourself this weekend. Take one moment and do something for yourself, okay? Please. New England Truth signing out, folks. I'll talk to you soon.